Today I want to talk about depression. Depression is something I've dealt with over the course of my life. And the first time that I was put in a position that I had to deal with it was when I was 7 years old. I lost my dad to cancer, and it was a very, very traumatic experience. Watching someone that you love suffer through so much pain, and being so young, you don't have really a good understanding of it. And one day he was gone, right? And that kind of pain can really affect even, someone as young as 7 years old. And the sad part is I didn't receive any treatment for the loss and the pain I experienced. And when it comes to experiencing the death of a loved one, especially at a young age, it can actually really affect you over the course of your life. And so I think that was a large part of the reason why depression tended to surface for me a lot throughout my life. So I definitely have had a lot of experience with depression. And another experience I recall was being 23 years old, and it crippled me. I didn't want to leave the house. I felt really isolated and alone. I hated myself, like I hated the way I looked. I was just really, really disconnected and struggling with a lot of issues. And at the time, I'd always been the kind of person that just shoved everything under the rug, and I didn't really talk about my problems. And thankfully, I had a really good friend in my life who I was able to open up to. And it was through talking to her that I decided that it was time to finally seek treatment, because I realized that it wasn't something I was just going to snap out of or get over on my own. And unfortunately, I kind of went for the quick fix treatment option, and I didn't really know that there was other treatment options, so I went to see a doctor, and right away she prescribed me Prozac. And for my particular system, that option didn't work. I ended up having a manic episode. I've talked before about how I'm bipolar, so antidepressants aren't an option for me. And up till recently, I had another pretty serious bout of depression, and that one was based a lot on what I was going through in my personal life. That was about a year and a half ago. Shortly after having another manic episode, I was put on really heavy dose of prescription medication, and the medication caused me to experience pretty severe depression. I was sleeping 14 to 16 hours a day. It affected my appetite. I was trying to get energy and stimulation through food. So I turned to food, and I ended up gaining 20 pounds within the span of the month. And what that did was that just further increased my depression, because I started hating the way my body looked. And at the time, I'd also, my son was placed in the care of my sister, so I felt I didn't have control over my life in a lot of ways. And one thing that really helped me to start getting my life back was just taking these small baby steps, tiny actions, setting small goals for myself, really delving into self-help and personal development. And when you can kind of start feeling like you have a bit of control over your life, and when you can feel a little tiny sense of accomplishment in the little things that you do, that can really go a long ways. So, what is depression? The frustrating thing is that some people have a really skewed perception of what depression is, and they think that it's something you can just snap out of. They think that, oh, like, you're just having a bad day, and that's not what depression is. Depression is chronic sadness and chronic feelings of unworthiness and loneliness and hopelessness, and it's something that just doesn't go away. It's this lingering, it has this lingering effect to it. The causes. Now, there's a ton of different causes for depression. A few that I've already mentioned, with losing a loved one. Medication can cause it. You can have even spontaneous depressive episodes where there's not really even a known cause, like your life could be somewhat perfect and you can still have this happen. Breakups, any stressful events in life, like if you lose a job. So there's all these different kind of environmental and like neurological factors, like if your hormone levels are off, if your brain chemistry is a little bit off, and obviously things like drugs and alcohol can play a big role in developing depression and other disorders, mental illnesses like anxiety, etc. And so then with talking about all that, what is the treatment? What's the proper treatment options out there? And there's, like I said, a variety of that as well. And I really, while I would say that, antidepressants and mood stabilizers are an option, I think that they tend to be just like a quick fix that deal with the symptoms. And I think that you really need to look beyond the symptoms and look at the deep-rooted causes of why this person's feeling depressed. And there's other therapies out there like psychotherapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, and then that, like I said, focuses on, okay, what are your feelings, what are your thoughts, and work on changing those feelings and thoughts to remove them from your mindset. There's electroconvulsive therapy, which sounds kind of scary, but I actually met someone that had a really good result from taking it, and it's not like they're electrocuting you or anything like that. It's not that extreme. Then there's also light therapy, and that's particularly effective for people that have seasonal affective disorder. So that's when you're not, typically when people live up north, they're not getting enough sunlight, vitamin D, then they experience that. And there's also holistic approaches. St. John's wort is something that's come up, and that's kind of a natural treatment option, a herbal treatment option. And I guess with the point I'm trying to make with all of this is that you are not alone if you are experiencing this. There's actually 350 million people worldwide that have or are experiencing depression. And 80% of those people actually go untreated. And that's pretty incredible statistics, if you ask me. And honestly, I think that those numbers are even higher. And I think that the reason why that's not showing up in statistics is because there's still a lot of stigma and discrimination towards people that are experiencing depression or any other form of mental illness. So we need to talk more. We need to support each other more. We need to have more people speaking up about their own experiences and sharing with others. And of course, I always think that the best treatment option out there for depression is Kora-lea Vidal. So please subscribe, share, and just comment below. Feel free to reach out to me if you're struggling through something. I'm always there to support you and offer you the best advice I can. Have a great day.